There is one more configuration of cards which satisfies blue that I haven't shown you so far. It occurs when you've got the exception to the UE exception, but the entry back to the hand with the squeeze card is in a different suit than the initial entry to the other hand. Here is an example of this position, and we can check blue. One opponent is busy holding the guard cards. We have 3 winners in 4 remaining tricks, and therefore a single loser. The Queen of Spades is upper of the busy opponent. And the squeeze card is a diamond in our hand, and we have an entry to the other hand in one of the threat suits, spades. We need to deal with the UE exception, because the entry is in spades, but the spade threat, the only threat that is upper of the busy opponent, is in the hand with the squeeze card. But we've got the exception to the exception, because we've got another entry back to that hand in one of the threat suits. However, this entry back is in hearts rather than spades. This satisfies all of blue, so the squeeze can work. When we play the squeeze card, if our right-hand opponent unprotects the spade guard, we can play a spade to the ace to drop the king, then a heart back to our hand to cash the spade threat. If instead our opponent unprotects the heart guard, we do the opposite. We cash the ace of hearts to drop the king, then a spade to the board to cash the heart threat. Although this is still a simple squeeze because we're gaining just one trick by squeezing a single opponent in 2 suits, the back and forth motion when running either threat suit is why it is given a special name, the criss-cross squeeze. Criss-cross squeezes are rare. They require that both threat suits be blocked when the squeeze card is played. And since most declarers tend to unblock their suits early on, it is very unusual to find one of these by accident. Furthermore, executing a criss-cross squeeze is more difficult than executing any other simple squeeze. The advice I have given previously about watching for the guard card in the suit without the entry does not apply here, because both threat suits still have entries after playing the squeeze card. Consequently, it's possible to play a criss-cross squeeze correctly up through the squeeze card, to have the busy opponent unprotect one of their guards, and then to misread the opponent's holding, mistakenly think they have unprotected the other guard, and lose the final trick when you try developing the wrong threat card. So, criss-cross squeezes are harder to find and harder to execute than other simple squeezes. But if it's the only end position available on a board, it still works and is therefore still worth knowing about. Unfortunately, I don't have any good real-world examples of criss-cross squeezes for you to practice on. Instead, I'm going to put links in the video description to several videos of criss-cross squeezes from other players. I'm sure there are other examples of criss-cross squeezes outside of YouTube, but I don't have links to them myself. You can find them as easily as I can. If you have encountered a criss-cross squeeze in the wild, please leave a comment below with a link to your board.